Well, for me, I guess I'm a step-by-step kind of person because it really helped me to understand, okay, what's beta? You
Mm-hmm.
know, what's a frequency of beta? And what does it do to my mind? And what does it do when the frequency that's so fast in beta, it's, what, 38 hertz or something, the fastest. What happens there? When I'm at 38 hertz and it's really pumping, what kind of behavior do I have? Well, that can be real panic attacks if it's let go. And then so I talk about that. Okay, now how do you reduce that? How can you reduce those fast brain waves? There's also the brain waves in beta that actually are the ones that really we're able to do strategic thinking, make
Mm-hmm.
good plans, have nice conceptual thoughts that are very clear. That's another level of frequency, going down to about 15 hertz there. And then the lower part, which is around 12, has to do with our attention, being able to really focus. We hear all about this attention deficit today, and we don't have a continual able to focus and have concentration. Of course, in my opinion, that's what meditation teaches so well,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is to be able to focus and have concentration and attention. So I look at those three areas and I say, what would be a good exercise for that? Well, a good exercise for that is to really, what we're taught all the time, is to begin to relax the muscles of our body. So the very first thing to reduce beta brainwaves is to begin to learn how to relax the body. Most people have no idea. I know you know this, Emmet, because you've been teaching it for years. But just beginning to know, what is it like to be able to relax the muscles of your
Mm-hmm.
jaw, for example, which holds so much tension. A lot of anger is there, I know. And relaxing the forehead, which is busy, busy part of the mind goes on in the anterior area there. So learning to relax the entire body. John Kabat-Zinn has used this for 30 years in his teaching at the University of Massachusetts. And he uses that for people that are in pain, to just relax the body, to get to know your body so well that most people may not have a sense of what does that left ankle feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you get to know the body starts to balance itself naturally. So that's an exercise that I use in beta, and I have
Mm-hmm.
CDs that I use so people can follow this.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I found when I was doing, excuse me, a lot of work with meditation was we just got right into concentration. Well, my first thing is you have to relax first.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do anything without that.
Mm-hmm. To begin with the process of relaxation and to enter the meditative state. And how would people know if they're in the meditative state?
Well, I don't think, for me, meditation is deeper than relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
So the next stage that they'd get into would be once the body is very quiet and relaxed, then all of a sudden you begin to, oh my goodness, I'm breathing. I can notice my breath. So they begin to focus on the breath, moving in and out. You begin to notice that you're starting to get in the meditative state when you actually just note that that breathing begins to breathe somewhat automatically. We think we're the breather,
Mm-hmm.
but it just begins to breathe quite automatically. And as you begin to follow that, begin to notice that there's a rhythm also to the breath. The body now has all kinds of sensations going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a sensation, say, for example, of just sitting in the chair. Oh, you feel very settled. There's a feeling of almost like I'm down on earth. And then there's tingling sensations in fingers and toes and tactile sensations. And if the eyes are open, you certainly are visually seeing a lot of different objects out there, or closed, could be all kinds of colors or forms, or thoughts going by, or hearing. Hearing is just really important as well, whether it's hearing a sound inside or just a sound of music or whatever it is. So I believe that's the next level, which is alpha.
So there is just a receptive awareness
So
of what's going on.
Yeah, you become into an aware state. So when I'm aware of that, I look to see who's aware. So when you begin to see that there's an observer now, observing the breath, observing the sensations, observing the sounds and so forth, you're starting to move into what I call the bridge, moving from state to a meditative state. It's really from a conscious state to a subconscious state, if you want to put it in psychological terms. So the bridge is missed so many times. That's what visualization is. That's what your work has been doing, is opening that bridge. And it's an area that gets habituated so easily in our lives. We open a door, we never notice what it feels like to open the handle of a door. Or step outside and actually, oh, what does it smell like out here? So we lose a sense of our sensations. We get habituated to the world, and in most cases on my EEG machine, there is very little alpha in most people. And true, when people close their eyes, alpha will begin to get a little bit more, there's more activity in that particular brainwave. But lots of people don't even get that when they close their eyes.
Thank you, Pat.